Welcome back to Clark's Ring Rants. Let's get straight into today's video. And Vergil Ortiz has sued Oscar De La Hoya, his promoter, and his promotional company, Golden Boy. Let's talk about it. Now, this comes off the back of some more stalled negotiations between Oscar De La Hoya, Vergil Ortiz, and Golden Boy Promotions, and Boots Ennis, Eddie Hearn, and Matchroom. Now, we all know Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya aren't exactly best friends. They've had their fair share of back and forths and internet beefs over the years. And the dispute this time seems to be the split for this fight. Eddie Hearn is of the belief that this fight should be a 50-50 even split with a 5% win bonus for whoever comes out on top. Whereas Oscar De La Hoya, he is of the belief that it should be 60-40 and Vergil Ortiz deserves the lion's share. Now, I'm not sure what planet Oscar De La Hoya is living on, but Vergil Ortiz is definitely not an overwhelming A-side in this fight. He's never won a world title, he's never fought for a world title, and he's never done any massive, ridiculous pay-per-view numbers. Boots Ennis, he's won a world title, he's unified a world title, and he's defended. So, on paper, he's achieved more in the sport. And he does sell well in Philly. I know Vergil Ortiz also sells well in his hometown. But I think they should meet somewhere around the middle. And 50-50 is probably fair. And it appears as though Vergil Ortiz has had enough of this. He wants to fight. Boots wants to fight. Eddie Hearn seems to be happy to make the fight. The only stumbling block in these negotiations seems to be Oscar De La Hoya. Now, Oscar De La Hoya has come out and he's made it clear to Eddie Hearn, we're not budging on this. The offer's there. You take it or leave it. If you don't like it, we're going to go in another direction and we're going to fight Errol Spence. Yes, you heard that right. In 2026, they're talking about a fight with Errol Spence. Now, Errol Spence has not been seen since he got his butt kicked by Terence Crawford nearly 3 years ago. He was rumoured to be coming back to fight Fundora, but that fight never even materialised because Errol Spence couldn't get through the training camp. Now, I dread to think what version of Errol Spence would turn up to fight in 2026. He was already diminished in the Crawford fight from a tough career and that horrific car crash. So the fact that they would try and duck Boots Ennis and push for a fight with Errol Spence and try and sell it as a former world champion coming back, a good fight for Ortiz is ludicrous. It'd be like flogging a dead horse. Nobody wants to see that fight. Stop messing about, De La Hoya, and get serious. Ortiz, he seems to have had enough of these antics. He's found grounds on which he's able to sue. Him and his lawyer are claiming that their contract is null and void as of the 31st of December, as that is when Golden Boy's deal with DAZN apparently ended. Although they did have a small card on this weekend just gone. Anyway, Ortiz has seized this opportunity. He's grabbed it and now he wants out. Now, I don't for 1 minute think that Vergil Ortiz is ducking Boots Ennis or he's scared to fight him. I think this is more down to promoter politics. And as we know, Golden Boy have been notoriously difficult to deal with when it comes to Eddie Hearn and putting their fighters in real pick'em 50-50 fights. If you cast your minds back to last year, Opataya must have called out Zurdo Ramirez more times than I can remember. And every time Golden Boy, Zurdo, De La Hoya are asked about it, they've got an excuse as for why this fight doesn't need to happen because they know there's a very good chance that Opataya takes Zurdo's head off, so they're not willing to make that fight. He's not got Canelo anymore. He's not got that big pay-per-view cash cow. He's got Ryan Garcia, but can you even rely on Ryan Garcia to turn up, fight, and not fail a drugs test? So De La Hoya doesn't have many golden gooses left, and he's really reluctant to put them in tough fights, and that appears to be the case here. Vergil Ortiz has been moved along very slowly and incrementally. He's waiting for that big breakout fight, and this Boots fight could be that. It would be on pay-per-view. It'd be a headliner. I'm sure they'd promote it well in America. They may even try and bill it as some next coming of Mayweather versus De La Hoya. I think the fight would do well, but De La Hoya just seems to be blocking it from happening. So Ortiz has thought, if we can just remove him from the equation, I can deal with the network directly, DAZN, Eddie Hearn, I can get this fight made. It's a fight I'd really, really like to see. I even mentioned it in my dream fights for 2026. I'll leave a link to that video below. I just hope we can get this fight done. Oscar De La Hoya can stop prancing around. Just come to your senses. Just make the fight. We all want to see it. Stop robbing the fans and the fighters of a great fight and the opportunity to prove they're the best, because that's all that Vergil Ortiz wants to do. I don't for 1 minute think he's scared of Boots. I think maybe if he can just be a bit more realistic with his expectations, because I know he was asking for some pretty big figures for a non-title fight. Just come to your senses. We can make this fight. Just get it on. But he just wants De La Hoya out of the equation. He's had enough. He's suing him. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few days, whether this goes through, whether he's free to leave his contract or he's going to be made to sit it out. I really hope he's not made to sit it out. That'd be a real shame to see a fighter on the sideline because of some contractual agreements. Hopefully we can get this sorted and we can get the fight on. But let me know what you think. Vergil Ortiz has sued Oscar De La Hoya and he's pushing really to get that fight with Boots. He wants all the smoke. But what do you think is going to happen? Who's to blame here? Let me know your thoughts. Comment, like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you on the next video. I'm out.